to the heat. This battlefield's huge. So we're gonna head over to Dunker's Church now, because that's also gonna close at 5. So we'll head over there. We're gonna hydrate first.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
And I'll also get the hat. If you're gonna come here in July, you definitely need to be prepared with sunscreen, protection, hats. It's almost surreal. Look how quiet it is. It's just like Gettysburg. These battlefields, they try to keep it as much as it was before. So they keep all open fields and stop people from like building from here. And it's just like a peaceful quiet. Feels like a lot less people than Gettysburg. Gettysburg, there's more people. It feels like this place, like there's not much. Look, if you just look at the battlefield and stuff, there's not much people around there. It's a lot more remote, I think, right? Compared to Gettysburg. Gettysburg, it wasn't crowded in Gettysburg, at least the time we went. But it seemed like there was still more people. Like you can be here at the sunset, you might be walking the trail by yourself. Kind of adds a little aura of like eeriness. We can check the grounds after we do Dunker Church. Do you want to head back this way, or let's see? Because it's gonna close in a half hour.
Okay. So this is. Just imagine the carnage right here. Same exact picture of the Dunker Church right there, cannon right there, and the bodies right over there.
This is the day of the battle, September of 1862.
Just picture it.
This is, we're in 2025. Yep, rest in peace. And this is exactly the picture that was taken by the photographer with these cannons. I'm guessing the bodies probably laid part where we stand, and then the cannons which they were operating with the Dunker Church in the background. Wow, it's like almost surreal. But if I
I can't tell the difference between the two.
They're different model guns.
Oh.
guns. Yeah. Each one of these guns are different models. Every single one of them are different.
For a civilian, it's kind of hard to tell.
They have a little bit. Also,
Except the color.
These are Confederate guns.
Oh.
This is Lead Artillery Battalion.
Oh. From dawn to 8
So these battalion have 19 cannons for precision over
Do they
high
have
ground.
better guns or?
For over 3 hours, fired towards Union soldiers with artillery from the Union 1st and 12th Corps. These gunners were under constant fire from the north and their flanks in the long range at Antietam Creek. The battalion had approximately 300 men, 86 were killed and wounded, and 16 horses. Wow.
They have to carry this all the way from the south all the way to the north.
Yeah, I'm sure it's horse-drawn carriages. But yeah, they still had to operate it though, and they had to get on high ground. It's very intensive labor. Like, these guns are so heavy. Look.
Mm-hmm.
These are probably actual guns. So if these are the actual guns, you think, or they just replica? Because when you think about actual guns, like how much bodies do these guns have on them?
It's possible that they're the
Yeah.
real one.
Like if they're
Some of them.
if they're actual guns, how much bodies do you think they have on them?
Oh.
And what I mean by like how much lives?
I'm
do they-
sure over 100 minimum.
I mean, they're flying for like 3-4 hours all day.
Rest in peace to all
Yeah.
the soldiers
Yeah,
from
rest in
both
peace.
for both sides.
Yeah, for both sides.
Now all we see are just the green pastures, but at the time back in days is all like carnage, bodies on top of each other.
All right, so we're heading over to Dunker's Church. This church was, I think, burnt down. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was burnt
And
down.
rebuilt in 1960.
Yeah, it was rebuilt in 1960. So it's not the original, but like I think
All the parts are original, most of them.
some of the parts, like some of the floorboards, you watch in the video
Mm-hmm.
online, that some of the boards on the floor are originals, and I think the front door, some of the things around the frame, don't quote me, but some of those are the originals. But itself was rebuilt in the 1960s. 1916s or 1960s? The 60s, right?
60s.
60s. But I mean, the location's probably exactly the same thing, though. Like, that's where the church stood at the time.
A farmer, he actually collected all, when it got burnt, a farmer collected
Yeah,
all
there was a farmer
the
that
parts.
collected the original parts, and I think when
and he sold it.
when he found out they're rebuilding it, he sold it. But I think he sold it at like not a crazy high price. Yeah,
$3,000.
yeah. It wasn't like really like a lot of money that he was asking for, but like they were able to keep some of the originals. So this is for Confederate Reserve Artillery, Longstreet Command. So this is Green's Division. Look, the Confederates had this part of the ground.
This is the Union Army, USA.
Second Army Corps, yeah. Oh no, these are not where the ground are. This is just, oh okay. I thought this is where they were.
Oh wow,
Sedgwick.
look at how far we are from the
Sedgwick.
visitor center.
Yeah, we walked that trail all the way down. We want to knock out pretty much a visitor center and
Right.
Dunker's Church because they're only
closing
open till
soon.
5, typical park times. But like the grounds are closed like when it turns dark.
Oh,
So we have all day to look at that. It's probably gonna let us go anyway.
Okay.
Inside Dunker's Church.
Original parts.
You can hear the echo when you're talking. The floorboards. Yeah, something about the video said the floorboards. Some of these floorboards were original. The farmer sold back when they rebuilt it.
This is probably original too, right?
Not sure. I don't want to say unless we know. But like you hear the echo of the voices. the battle of the church was repaired by 1921 severe windstorm. 1930s, 40s. Or reconstructed. Also, it was actually, I don't know anything about fire. It was just after the battle of the church was repaired by 1921, a severe windstorm.
1962. Yeah.
It was reconstructed. They didn't say anything about, like, it was only reconstructed and they redid it again. So maybe what we said wasn't, yeah, it just said, oh man, I have bugs all over. I need some bug spray.
Here.
It says, although the heavily damaged during the battle by artillery and rifle fire, the church survived. But it was blown down by a windstorm in 1921. Oh look, you are standing near the center of these men. So what, was all these men grouped around here? As you face north, I honestly don't know which way is north, south, or west, but it's primarily, sorry, I can't pronounce words today. General Thomas Stonewall Jackson soldiers who took position at the end of the battlefield. The night before the battle, it was rainy and dreary. Today's complete opposite, it's sunny and hot. Over 15,000 Union soldiers crossed the Antietam Creek and moved into position in the far north end of the field. They attacked south towards Dunker Church and Jackson's Confederates. In the next 4 hours, the woods and fields in front of you changed hands countless times in horrendous combat. Oh wow! So the woods in front of us. It's like we're looking at this plaque, reading from the plaque.
The wood right here.
Oh, is it?
Right here.
No, it says in front. Oh, so these are woods.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
that's the wood.
Okay, guys, so we're approaching the Westwoods. So this, if you watch any Antietam battle documentary history, you probably constantly hear things like Westwoods, Cornfields, you know, Burnside Bridge, those things. But this one here is the Westwoods, where it's like intense fighting took place. As you saw in the plaque, it says 4 hours, changing hands back and forth between the two forces. So just imagine, like, back in 1862, September 15th and 16th. Fighting, soldiers fighting, you know, right here in the woods. This is the Westwoods. And when you look at it now, they took that, like, let's just say they took down all these signs, you wouldn't know, like, a fierce, intense battle took place here. You only know it because it's history. We know about our history. So you would think it just looks like any average woods, right? You wouldn't think like this is a scene of a horrific battle, soldiers dying, wounded. And now these days they literally use it like you can bring your dog, you can walk your dog in there, you could just head inside Westwoods and go for a walk. But now you wouldn't know, like, this is history over here. One of the biggest theories. believe that over there. If you turn around this way, it looks like cornfields to me. I wonder if that's the site of the bloodiest part of the battle. I believe this cornfields where they had the highest casualties. It looks like cornfield, but there's no plaque or anything. So we're just gonna walk this trail, see if that's where the actual battle took place. But yeah, I think that's where they suffered the highest casualties. Like you saw,
Yep.
we saw the video.
Because it's right close to the Dunker Church.
Right, that and Bloody Lane are two of the places where, and the Westwoods too, where they had some of the highest casualties. Yeah. This was an ambush. Like the Union troops came right out the cornfields. They couldn't see what was in front of them, and the Confederate soldiers were already waiting for them and just, opened fire as soon as they came out. It's like so surreal. It's like it's so peaceful when you're walking here. You hear birds chirping, but like 100 plus years ago, was it 150 years or more? 160, 170 years ago, it was like a site of just carnage, death, suffering, just all the things that war bring. And now you're walking here almost like 2 centuries later. They look like cornfields, but I'm not sure if this is exactly where the battle took place, because I'm sure if this is where the battle took place, they'll have plaques. So we're just gonna walk past it. We don't, just, can you imagine like the soldiers walking through the cornfield? You can't see what's in front of you, right? And just as soon as they come out, they're ambushed. They get ambushed. And now the grass looks nice and green, but it was probably drenched in blood at the time, right? So we're walking up to this monument over there. Not sure what monument that is. We'll see when we get up there. And after that, we're gonna head into the car and do the audio tour, because it's like 85 to 90 degrees today and it's sunny. But listen, it's like so quiet. Just birds chirping. Can you imagine how this place looks like when it's nighttime? There's like no street lights, nothing. You probably can't walk and not be able to see anything really, because it's gonna, unless you have like strong moonlight, or unless one of these figures light up, right? Just think about it. There's like no street lights, no lights, no nothing. It's just scary thinking about it, actually.
Eerie, right?
Yeah. I just can't, like this is so much more quieter, so much less people visiting this battlefield than it was compared to Gettysburg. Like Gettysburg, they had this whole theme where it was like you're doing night haunted tours, right? They had guys dressed up like Union soldiers. Like they made that whole town into like a tourist place, and the entire economy fed off the tourism. Whereas over here, it's kind of like there's none of that. There's no guided tours. There's no towns, there's no haunted tours, like, I don't know, we head into Sharpsburg downtown where they have that, but like it's just, it seems like it's so small. Not small, but like not the way Gettysburg
like
was. Like the vibe. Like it's just whoever comes and takes the time to visit, if they know about the battle, they're interested in the Civil War, they'll come. This is
New York.
For New York, yeah, it's a memorial for New York.
For our soldiers.
Go Ye September. It's September 17, 1862. This is for New York. This is our home state. you have me take a picture? Hey guys, so this is the view from the tour. This is a tour from the car. So this is Westwoods, which comes out earlier. This is where the battle of Westwood banner part took place. This on the right side is actually the cornfield, but like I'm not sure if this is exactly. I'm still kind of skeptical if this is exactly the place the battle took place, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of plaques
according to the map, yeah,
and monuments. But according to the map, it says. I mean, it looks like a cornfield, but it's just like where exactly did the fighting that took place at the cornfield is what I'm trying to say was at. But we're pretty much just kind of going with the flow now at this point. We're just gonna drive. Just look at things as we go. There's another monument over there.
This one is Eastwoods, according to the map.
This is Eastwoods.
Eastwoods, yeah.
Eastwoods over there. Okay, so we'll make a right to Eastwoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna check out the Eastwood monuments. And, there's a soldier right here.
Let's check the link. What does it say?
This one says Alexander, New Jersey's.
Oh, it said the Cornfield Avenue. This is the Cornfield Avenue.
Cornfield.
Oh, that's the actual cornfield right there.
Oh yeah, here we are.
There's some people taking pictures.
This is okay, guys. So this is over here is New Jersey Monument, New Jersey Artillery. Over here is a cornfield. So this is where the bloodiest fighting took place in the whole battle, in the entire day. So if you look at like what we showed earlier, the highest casualties was in the cornfields. The bloody cornfield. You see that? See that sign? Bloody cornfield. So we're gonna park the car and we're gonna take a look at the cornfield. All right, we'll check in with you guys. Okay, guys, this is the bloody cornfield. Should I put the thing? She's crying. Okay, guys, we're here at the bloody cornfield. This is where the highest casualty took place in the entire Battle of Antietam. This is where the highest casualties, like I just mentioned. You watch the documentaries. This is where they were ambushed. I think Irish Brigade was part of this. Was it? Or that was?
That was ambushed.
Yep, the Irish Brigade. They held their own for a long time, but then they took a lot of casualties. This is the site of it. This is where they came out, I guess. And then they were completely ambushed by the Confederate troops. And this cornfield looks nice and green. It was probably just soaked with blood. Back here in was it September 16th, 1862. September 17th, 1862. Totally different scene than what we see now here in 2025. Says at daybreak, General Joseph Hooker's First Corps, approximately 8,000 men, advanced through the cornfield where hostile battle lines opened a tremendous fire upon each other. Initially knocked back, Hooker's men regrouped and tried to push General Stonewall Jackson's men as the casualty on both sides quickly escalated. At 7 a.m., Bell Hood's Confederate division of approximately 2,000 men were waiting behind the Dunkard Church. Look, you have you have a young cannon there.
Yep.
Yep.
And this general from the Confederates, he lost his arm in Gettysburg, and he lost his leg. Knock on wood. Iron Brigade. Iron Brigade.
Oh yeah, an Iron Brigade. Also, it was the Iron Brigade that fought in Cornfield. So where did the Irish Brigade fight? I think that must have been Bloody Lane then, right?
Yeah, September 17, 1862.
Yeah, so as Union soldiers stepped out of the cornfield in front of you, so this is literally right in front. So just imagine Union troops walking right out of these cornfields, straight ahead. And as soon as they come, just pretend where we're standing is Confederate troops looking at them with their guns raised and drawn, and aim to fire. And as soon as they come right out of those cornfields, the moment you see the Union blue soldiers step right out, that's when the Confederate soldiers, like from here to where the cornfield is over there, I would say is what, like 200, 300 feet max. So like, I don't know how the muskets were back then, but they're still pretty close in terms of proximity. So it was just getting mowed down. Like you could just picture it back September 17th, 1862. The Union troops come right out, and then Confederates ambushed them, and troops were just falling. Men were just falling. As you can see here, for the next 4 hours, the cornfield was the center of storm, lead, iron, and flame, as Federal soldiers from the 1st and 12th Corps clashed with Lee's men. The cornfield changed hands again and again, which means the Confederates went in after the Union troops, then the Union troops part of a group, then pushed back the Confederates. It was like a tug of war seesaw back and forth in the middle of these cornfields. It's not like it's open land. So it's like you got the cornfields in the soldiers' face, pushing back the cornfield part, tripping on things, and dead soldiers, bodies everywhere, tripping on bodies, and just blood and everything. It's just looking at this, like, imagine, like, people screaming, gunfire, smoke.
Every stalk of corn in the northern greater
was cut
part.
closely as you can done with a knife, and the slain lay in rows precisely as stood in the ranks a few moments before. It was never my fortune to witness more of a bloody, dismal battlefield, and that was coming from General Joseph Hooker. Wow. I mean, this is how the Iron Brigade, when they broke out the cornfield. This is, like I said, I think it was Bloody Lane, or was it the cornfield? I think the cornfield had the highest casualties, and Bloody Lane was second.
I think that's the Mama's farm, right? I think.
Possibly.
That
So now we're gonna walk. Do you want to walk in the cornfield?
Yeah, we can.
Or do you just want to stand over here? We can stand over here. So this is the north face of the Westwoods. We're just down that way was the entry of the Westwoods, and this is the north face of it. And this is another site of a bloody fighting on the same day, same battle. Yeah, so this is Westwoods. In contrast, I don't know if it was like at the time, but I'm sure they try to keep everything the way it was at the time of the battle. So this is all open fields, whereas the bloody cornfield was completely, like, it's not really that visible. You can't really see what's doing the cornfield unless you're very tall. A complete contrast in just the terrain of the battle. This is 124th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry, Colonel Joseph W. Hart. Looks very young, right?
Very young. A lot of them.
It was here at this spot that the regiment within 6.
Watch out for cars. There's a
Indiana monument. And the Jeepers Creepers truck just pulled up. Yeah. Indiana. Also multiple infantries for Indiana on this monument. Gordon's brigade, right?
Oh.
Wait, but then it seems like it's from the north. These are the north.
Oh, there's another Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is the Union.
Yeah, he's definitely Union because he's in support.
There are two
of Hooker's
Gordons.
Corps,
The other Gordon is the Confederate who got shot 5 times.
Yep, and became the mayor of Georgia.
It was in the museum. I saw his picture.
Yeah.
Look at the cornfield. So this is. So they will come up from this way.
Yep. So this is the cornfield. So you look like the Union troops, Iron Brigade was coming through these cornfields. Like this cornfield, like You think you could just push it out of the way? I'm sure it has a little bit of resistance. So just men marching through.
Like how tall it is.
It's like the height of a man plus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 6 feet plus those cornfields. So you really can't see it. The most you're probably gonna see is the top of their guns or maybe the hats and their colors. And then Confederates were lying in wait. Wow.
There's a building.
Yep, we're gonna drive down that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So we wanted to see, like, we wrote down like the major parts that took place in the battle, places like Westwoods, you know, the bloody cornfields, the bloody lane, Dunker's Church, and the Burnside Bridge. We plan to hit up all those spots today, just to check out all these, you know, major. There's a lot more fighting all over, but like check out these major spots where some of these the heaviest fighting took place, and also checking out all the monuments as we go. And it's like so much different than Gettysburg, though, right? There's hardly anybody here. Like I can imagine.
It's less known, I guess.
It's less known. It's like the battle itself. It seems like in history is less known. Everybody knows about Gettysburg, right? Because Gettysburg's a 3-day battle. It was massive. It was Lee's second invasion of the North. But there's also because Gettysburg was considered the turning point of the war. Because up until that point, the North was consistently losing. After Gettysburg was the turning point where the war kind of turned in the favor of the Union, and the Union had the upper hand. And it was now the South that was losing. So that's why Gettysburg is just, you know, that much more famous. And it kind of, in some ways, it kind of portrays in the way the battlefields are like visited. Like the whole town of Gettysburg, it's just one whole town of like the battle with like ghost tours and all that stuff, right? But over here, it's just like people come by themselves. Like the guy just got out of the pickup truck, just come and just visit these sites themselves, and that's it. Like there's no tour guide. There's not even a tour guide. They're not.
It's less commercialized.
Yeah, it's not less commercialized. But I won't even say like a narrating tour guide is commercialized, like, because tour guides are just like a book of knowledge, right? So you follow around a tour guide, he can tell you exactly the places it took place. There's no tour. I mean, thank gosh there's no tour guide standing here in the middle of the day because it's hot. Who wants to go do that? But I'm just saying, like, you literally do this on your own with the audio tour. That's it.
Yep.
So it's just so much different in terms of how the battlefields presented between the two Civil War battles that took place in the North. Yeah, I'm talking a lot because I love, like, I read up on the Civil War. I've always wanted to come back. I always wanted to go to Gettysburg, and Antietam was the next one within driving distance from the North. Everything else is in the South. I just want to, I'm driving slowly, and I just want to show you guys like just the length of the cornfield. I think that's part where the most major part of the fighting took place, because that's where all the plaques are at. Here's more. Even though the South came and made monuments with their soldiers, Georgia Confederate soldiers. Wow, do you see what he said? It's just their duty to their country and their state. First Army Corps. It's just a lot of monuments here. The Confederates are on this side. This is Mississippi. So I saw a documentary, like these monuments are pretty much, you know, erected and set up by the veterans and whatever funds they have. This is the 11th Mississippi from Laws Brigade and the Hoods Division. Here's a couple of more. Let's see what plaques these are. This one over here is Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. Also the Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry, the 137th. So Pennsylvania has a lot of volunteer infantry here. Yep.
So we're heading to East Woods.
Joseph Huffenberger farm down there. Oh, probably this one on the right. That was more like the farm.
And that's the farmhouse.
Yep, farmhouse.
Behind it.
Yeah. A lot of this whole section's Pennsylvania Volunteers. This is like the 5th plaque we saw. So there's a lot of New Yorkers and a lot of Pennsylvanians. A lot of volunteers too. That we've seen up here that represents the Union. Yeah, a lot of New Yorkers in Pennsylvania took part in this fight. I've seen those 2 states more than any other state right there. Oh, this is the north edge of Northwoods. Hey guys, so we're here at the Mama's farm. Here's the plaque. The cemetery and the farm buildings to your right, which is this over here. The part of the Samuel and Elizabeth Mama's farm in 1862. Warned of the coming battle, the Mamas and their 10 children, wow, fled to safety. Fearful that Union sharpshooters would use the farm building as a strong point, Confederates set fire to them, so they actually burned down the farm. The column of fire and smoke was visible all morning above the battlefield. The fire was the only deliberate destruction of civilian property, so this fire was the only deliberate destruction. One Union soldier remembered, just in front of us, house was burning, and the fire and smoke, flashing of muskets and the whizzing of bullets, yells of men were perfectly horrible. The Mamas spent the winter at the Sheriff farm near Burnside Bridge. Was able to rebuild in 1863. Oh, okay. So what's over at the Mama's cemetery then? This, if we walk down this way, it becomes the Mama's cemetery.
Oh, you're right there. There's a gate.
There's a gate that goes right in. You interested? Down there? Yeah. But we can go to the National Antietam Battlefield Cemetery there, right?
Yeah.
I can, so here it is, guys. This is the Mama farm. These buildings here, the farm over there, the houses. To the right. So I guess they rebuilt this in 1863. The following year, some Confederates burned the buildings to reflect that it was going to be used as a strong point for Union sharpshooters. You see, they still have cannons.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, they have a pretty big farm.
I think it's not open for public.
The inside's open for public, but the cemetery is. The cemetery, they have a sign in pointing in, and the gate's open. Oh, we're approaching the Bloody Lane. Is this it? Yeah, the terrain here is a lot of loops. Falls down, like goes down, it comes back up, comes down, comes back up. We're gonna go to the top. Visitor center to the right. This is the site of the second casualties. Battle of Antietam. This is it. Oh, Bloody Lane, this is it. So let's step out of the car for a little bit. Let's take a peek. So this is, we're 0.25 miles away from Bloody Lane, also known as the Sunken Road.
We're right here.
Yep, this is where we are on the map. And this dude's really just going for a walk by himself on a hot summer day. Walking through all these battlefields on his own with a bottle of water. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, so around 9:30, the battle started to shift from the north end of the battlefield towards the Sunken Road, aka Bloody Lane. 180 yards to our right. 2 divisions from the Union 2nd Corps moved to across the Mama and Roulette farm fields in front of you. So these are the Mama and Roulette farm fields. Initially were 5,000 soldiers commanded by William H. French. Assaulted the Confederate position. French, who was ordered to press the enemy with all his force, locked into a bloody, costly struggle against the Confederates' position well in the worn-sunken farm road. Approximately an hour later, General Israel Richards' division of over 4,000 men moved to support their comrades. So this is it right here. These are the 2 generals. Richardson to the left and French to the right. And then the Confederates, so it's like a sunken road, so just imagine like a small road, and it's elevated on both sides, and the Confederates literally had troops was on both sides, I think. Not sure, but like it was pretty much another ambush. That's one of the reasons why I think the Union casualties were higher in this battle, because they were constantly getting ambushed by the Confederates, taking heavy losses. Yeah. Alright, we're going to head over to the Bloody Lane and the Burnside Bridge. Yeah. Picture of that. Okay, so we're driving towards Bloody Lane, about a quarter of a mile. I mean, we've seen so much on YouTube ourselves that this doesn't look like Bloody Lane yet. I think we'll know it when we see it. It's literally sunken in the middle, elevated on both sides. And I don't think it's a paved road either. So we'll know it when we see it.
Toward the left.
It's to the left.
Which one is it?
This looks like a sunken lane, right? To the left.
This whole lane. There's a placard right there.
I think it's to the left.
Okay.
It looks more the way it looks when we see it on YouTube. Look, it's sunken in the middle, and there's like those trees made into like some kind of fence on both sides. And there's parking up there. So yeah, this is here we go, guys. This is the Bloody Lane. Sunken Road, also known as Bloody Lane, site of the second most casualties. I was talking about the Union division stuff. This looks like come on, this is the Bloody Lane right here. It looks exactly how we see on YouTube. What does that say, that sign? This should be it. Right? Isn't this how we watch YouTube? Yep. Where's the park? Hey guys, so we made it. This is the sunken lane, also known as... No, excuse me. Hey guys, we made it. So this is known as the sunken road, also known as the Bloody Lane. And this is where just the natural formation of the land. As you see, it's like sunken in the middle, but elevated on both sides with these kind of tree, these wooden planks that kind of almost look like a fence, where the Confederates are on each side and ambushed the Union troops. This is the site of the second most casualties suffered in the battle. Being the bloody cornfields was the first. But yeah, so we're here on Sunken Lane, also known as Sunken Road. I keep calling it Sunken Lane. Sunken Road, also known as Bloody Lane. It's one thing when you constantly watch it on YouTube, but it's another thing to actually be here. You know, when you watch other people narrate it. So we're gonna walk into the middle of the road and we're gonna check out the Bloody Lane. And just imagine this back in 1862, just you know, troops, just men, soldiers, just, you know, dead on the ground, rest in peace, lying wounded. This whole thing was just like entrenched. When you look at the pictures, it's just entrenched with dead bodies and bodies of the dying and stuff. So I smell smoke. Do you smell?
No.
I smell smoke.
Still recording. Later, he was governor of Georgia and U.S. Senator.
Yeah, Colonel Gordon had been hit 5 different times. guess the road of death. And the reason why you can tell is just look at this, the same exact lane back in September 17th, 1862 were just filled with corpse, you know, bodies of dead soldiers.
It's kind of quite deep. Look at
Yeah,
how-
deep soldiers. Wow.
So deep that it had. They built a staircase to go down.
This is where the Trust battlefield. What were the names?
Gary and Dennis.
Yeah, they were coming up these stairs. He told those folks to look themselves in the video. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where the Irish Brigade fought.
Yep. From New York. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. So we're gonna walk down into the bloody lane. Wow, so just imagine like over 100 years ago, this entire field was.
It's about 6 feet deep.
Yeah, I would say a good 5 to 6 feet deep. This is no joke. No, it is 6 feet, more than 6 feet deep. You can't really tell on the incline, but above there it's like.
You can see it from the people.
Out of
running
yeah.
around.
So just imagine like soldiers coming in on the sunken lane.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the Alabamian?
Yep,
Got the
this
wrong-
is where they did the video
They
where
did, yeah.
they heard something about
Oblique,
oblique, right?
Supposedly, and
but
then
then
they.
it was through all the chaos and the mayhem of the battle, and obviously noise and things like that. They thought they heard something about
right.
right, which is kind of like a retreat, or they
They
whatever the
left.
thing whatever the thing was, it was understood as a retreat, so everybody left, retreated, due to like the confusion of the orders. But this is where their regiment or brigade that was fighting. Wow, so we're actually walking down the bloody lane, guys. Sunken road.
It was filled with blood back in the days.
With blood, that's what they call it, bloody lane.
This one is called the Roulette House.
Oh, yeah. The bloody lane stretches over like a mile, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
It stretches like over a mile.
I think so.
It's one thing, like I said, I keep saying it. It's one thing to see it on YouTube, and it's another thing to actually be here. You know, standing on the ground, walking here. And it's just a sight of the soldiers just fighting like over 100 years ago. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems so real. Like we
This lane was filled with bodies.
So, yeah, as you saw the pictures itself,
Rest
it was
in
filled with
peace.
bodies. Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine, so they could just hide here
Mm-hmm.
because you got this wall thing. So we just
Yeah,
hide
so
here,
this is
wait
like a
until the Union coming
natural
from
barrier.
the Union are coming from the cornfield
I
right
think
there,
he said this way, wasn't
or
it?
from coming from
That's
this
in the
side.
video.
Oh yeah, they're coming from a higher ground. So the Confederate just wait
video.
here. Hi. Hi. Hi.
It's a girl?
Hi. Hi.
It's a girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a girl?
Hi. Hi.
Good girl, good girl. Very friendly.
Pixie.
What's her name, Pixie? Very friendly.
Trixie, aw.
Very friendly.
She's so pretty.
Get on the video. Bye, Trixie. And Trixie
Wanted to say hi.
wanted to say hi. See the dog over there. Very friendly dog. So okay, so I think this is where Dennis was doing the video where he said like, well, we learned ourselves watching the YouTube videos, like the Confederates were waiting here. As soon as you see the banner, that means the colors are normally in the middle of the formation, so that's where they knew, and then they didn't fire until they saw half the body. There's a plaque up there, so we can check out the plaque. And I think we should walk back that way to head to the observation field after. So we're walking on the Bloody Lane, guys. Look at this. Yeah, just like over 100 years ago, it's full of bodies, right? Saw in the picture.
There's a placard right here.
Yep. What's that placard say? I don't want to step on the grass, I just want to step on the road because I think the road was meant to step on. Yeah. Yeah, excuse us.
Yeah,
Yeah, rest in peace. There's a plaque over here.
it's about 163 years ago.
163 years ago, yeah. So that's like two centuries practically. So this one over here is the Pennsylvania Volunteer, another Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. The Bloody Lane right here. September 17th, 1862. This is just history. It's incredible when you just look at the historic, the history. We are big fans of history, you know, and yeah.
Oh, this horse. The Irish Brigade, right? Oh, this is the
No, it's
French-
Pennsylvania Volunteer Brigade.
It's the Irish Brigade.
I don't know. This is a Maryland plaque, the home state of this land. This French division that we saw. Okay, so this goes back out to the road. So you want to walk down this way? So yeah, this is the beginning of the sunken road, aka Bloody Lane. We're gonna walk the same way those folks were walking upwards with Trixie the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful while you're walking. You can the rocks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the Union were coming from that side, from the hill.
That's what the video showed.
Right.
They were coming from this side, and then
So the
Confederates
Confederates
opened
were
fire.
hiding here.
but then weren't the Union troops also here on the lane too? Oh, so they were coming that
No,
way.
The
Oh,
Union coming from the hill.
okay.
That's why they were waiting to see the flag.
Oh, so then they kind of had the
So the
security of
Confederate
the land this way.
Yes.
So the bolts kind of went over them, kind of thing, right?
And the Confederate were getting ready.
Right.
Here,
So the
waiting
Confederate.
for the order.
So they had like kind of like a sort of a barrier, like in terms of the ground is slightly higher. So I guess that offered some
Protection.
sort of protection, even though there's no such thing really in battle, but like they were offered some like of the land to their advantage in terms of protection, because they were kind of like in a trench, right? When you think it's kind of like a trench format. Yeah. Yeah, excuse us. Yeah. So we're just gonna keep walking. We're gonna walk a little bit down to the grass, then we're gonna head over to the observatory tower. This is the, oh, I missed this monument. The words are kind of like faded. You can't really read what it says. Yeah.
This was the oblique, right?
Yeah, this is the part where they did the
Alabamian
yeah,
Brigade.
yep. And then they mistaken that order for a retreat. Or that's what the history says, and that's what people that do documentary, like yeah, so that's what they said. But it's very interesting to learn the history. If you come here without knowing the history, you understood like a battle took place here, but you don't understand like the history behind it. So that's why months prior to coming out here, we actually watched scores of Antietam documentaries, battlefield documentaries, just to kind of like, you know a little bit of the battle that took place here. So we're gonna just go up to where the
Observation tower.
no, we're gonna go over to that last monument, then we're gonna head back and go to observation tower. Or do you want to walk up to observation tower?
This is the observation tower.
This is right here.
Yeah.
Do you want to walk all the way down there? I was thinking about we can get
Yeah,
go back and drive.
yeah, you can drive it.
I just want to check out this monument. Yeah. Wow. Look, the monument looks very young.
Yeah.
Right?
And they have that severed arm.
Oh yeah, that's in the museum.
But
But they never knew who the person.
right.
Yeah, it's just.
And they knew he was about 18 years old.
Yeah, just based on it. Yeah, there's Antietam, again with 132nd Pennsylvania Volunteer. A lot of Pennsylvanians, a lot of New Yorkers took part in this fight from the north. And this particular monument is, I mean, I don't know if they purposely try to make it, but it looks very young, right? Or I don't know if they purposely made the monument to look young.
Most of them are young.
Yeah, most of them are young men, as with most wars, right?
Right.
Send the young men off to fight. Okay, so rest in peace. This is, did a little history tour of the bloody lane, sunken road of Antietam battlefield. Just learn a little about history. Look, don't say anything. It's so quiet out here. Those folks that we saw with the dog Trixie were the only people we've seen. And if we don't say anything, it's complete silent. With exceptions of some birds chirping. Yeah. There's no lights here, so imagine at night, you're only depending on the moonlight or if you have a flashlight or lantern or any of that. Okay, so we're gonna step out of Second Road Bloody Lane. Excuse us. Rest in peace. Excuse us. Rest in peace. And then discover more about this history. Excuse us. Rest in peace. And once again, we're gonna just give you a brief look on history again, and soldiers that play their part in this battle. Okay guys, so we're out of the bloody lane, sunken road, and we drove over to this observation tower.
George P. McClellan.
Yep, and then we have some plaques over here. The mosquitoes are out in droves.
CSA is Confederate. S stands for
Not sure.
Confederate State of USA is United States of America.
Oh yeah, Confederate States of America.
Oh,
And then USA is
that's what they
United
call it back
States,
then.
yeah. Oh look, Irish Brigade.
Oh yeah.
So you watch a lot of documentaries
Right,
about the Irish Brigade that fought at Sunken Lane.
Right.
Or Sunken Road. They keep saying Sunken Road, also known as Bloody Lane. And yeah, they took really heavy losses.
Oh yeah,
Irish
this
Brigade.
this
Yeah.
Thomas Francis Meagher. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace, soldiers. Yeah. So he was actually born in Ireland. They came over. there. With this really nice monument at the Irish Brigade.
Mm-hmm.
Holding the colors.
A lot of them. A lot of them
Look,
fell.
And then the flag, their colors says Irish
Right.
Brigade.
How many people in total? 500 something, right? Oh yeah, I was right. 540. 540.
Oh, it's actually closed. Okay. They probably closed at 5 as well.
Oh.
That makes sense because it's unsupervised. They don't
Right.
know, you know, obviously I don't need to elaborate, but okay. Well, that's fine then. Because we get to see this Irish Brigade monument.
Too bad it's closed. Wow, it's actually pretty tall. If
Yeah,
you
it would be
climb.
nice if we go up. We went to the observation tower over in Gettysburg.
Gettysburg.
I wonder what time it closes. Maybe that's fine. Probably closed at 5 or something. Because it's almost dusk already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, South Mountain.
Oh,
Yeah,
originally
they've
it
been
didn't have a roof back then.
Oh, it was a tower built without a roof.
Mm-hmm.
It was stored in the 20th century. This is how the Bloody Lane looked about 1960. The park road was moved away from the lane. Historic fencing was restored. South Mountain is where the first battle, like the battle prelude to Antietam took place. These bugs.
Oh, we were here.
Yes, we were just here at the sunken lane. This is where it was. That's where we were. We just walked the trail. We didn't walk the whole thing, but we walked a little bit up to here to the grass. Slightly took a look at the monument, and we went backwards. We didn't walk the whole lane.
Next, Burnside Bridge. That's the end of the battle, I think.
Yep.
Or that day,
Burnside
yeah.
Bridge. Or at least that's our last place we plan to go. Just hook around this way. This looks like a cornfield.
It's surrounded by cornfield.
Yeah. I mean, this is not technically the bloody cornfield where the battle took place, but yeah, you see something wrong from here.
There's some rope here. What is this for? For people to climb up?
Not sure.
Interesting. Very tall.
Excuse me. Okay guys, so we just parked. We're looking for the Burnside Bridge. And we're not sure quite where it is, so we're overlooking this area. We're going to see if the bridge is underneath from up here. I see a bunch of plaques down there.
Yep. So this is it.
This is not
I
a
hear
bridge,
water.
though.
I hear the water
Yeah.
down there.
Do you want to walk down there
Yeah,
and see if the bridge is there? Yeah.
It looks like this is newly built.
Yeah, this is probably newly built for tourism, which there's like no tourists there. There's literally one car, guys. Like, and right now it's about 6:52, so it's almost 7. So this, I don't know if it's like slow season. I don't know how it works here, but it's like, it's quiet, to say the least. Not much visitors here at all.
Compared to Gettysburg.
Compared to Gettysburg, but just in general, let's just say you visiting a park, there's not much people. So you come here on a colder day or a more like foggy day and there's hardly another human being here. It's kind of eerie, to tell you the truth.
Oh, there it is. The bridge.
Oh,
down
there's Burnside Bridge from here.
Ah.
Yeah. That's it, guys. Burnside Bridge is right beneath us over here.
So we're in the position of the general, so looking above here.
Yep.
With the binocular.
So, right down there, guys. Burnside Bridge. That's the infamous Burnside Bridge. And if you really wanted to go down the walk, there's a trail that goes down this way. And you can cross over to the bridge.
All right.
And then let's see where the Confederates were located. So here. So at the time it was known as Rawback or Lower Bridge, but was named to General Ambrose Burnside after the battle. Crossing over Antietam Creek, 1836, blah, blah, blah. For more than 3 hours on September 17, 1862, Confederate General Robert Toombs and fewer than 500 soldiers from Georgia held this imposing positions. So this is the position then. I think we're standing here, where the Confederates were with a high ground overlooking the bridge where the Union troops were trying to come over. And because this is the imposing position, so I'm assuming this is the very ground that they were on. 3 Federal assaults made by General Ambrose Burnside's much larger 9th Corps. General James Longstreet wrote the action. General Toombs held the bridge and defended most gallantly. driving back repeated attacks, only yielding after the force brought against it became overwhelming. So this is it. Look. Yeah. This is it. That's the bridge below. I took a picture. A lot of trees. That's the Burnside Bridge below. Let's read what this other plaque says. Today the bridge has been restored to preserve for future generations. That's how the bridge looked at the time. And this is kind of like give you an image of how the chaos that looked in the battle. You see the illustration. The bridge is just filled with Union troops, Confederates holding the high ground. So here. So yeah, so it's like fewer than 500 troops commanded by Robert Toombs lined Antietam Creek from then we're crossing the bridge. Wow. So from this point, this is this point. So you are here. Oh, so yeah, it's right. You are here. This is where we're standing. Toombs and this red dot. This is where the Confederate troops are literally have their positions where we are right now. So you can see why they were able to repel 3 attacks with only 500 men, because they have absolutely the high ground. We don't know how to shoot guns or anything, but we assume it's easier to shoot downwards than it is to shoot upwards.
Sharpshooters,
right? And you have the terrain advantage that being on the elevated position, it's always naturally superior in terms of being in the lower position. That's why, like, you know, when it comes to war, everybody talks about holding the high ground, because the troops will have to charge upwards to get to you. So yeah, so inspecting him. Yeah, so this is it. 5,000 Union troops and only 500 Confederates, but yet they were able to withstand 3 assaults just because they had the high ground over here. And then 500 killed, wounded, missing for the Union Army, and 120 killed, wounded, or missing for the Confederate Army. So this actually is a lot less casualties compared to like the other places.
Bloody Lane.
So look, if you look at it, this is where we're literally standing where the Confederate soldiers were. So this is the high ground they had. So we're standing where the Confederates were standing, and Union troops were the ones below. Yeah. So it's the Burnside Bridge, guys. This other piece of, you know, Civil War history, the Battle of Antietam. We did a full tour. I would say that like most of the major theaters of the entire battle we covered, unlike Gettysburg, where we couldn't really do it because we weren't prepared. We actually read about the history, studied it prior to coming to here, so we got to see some of these historical sites and just know more about history, and actually visiting it like 160, 70, 2 centuries later to see how it is like today. It's just when you know the history and what took place, it just adds a different feeling to it. And these folks over here are actually probably gonna cross the Burnside Bridge. You see, if you see, they're gonna show their heads past these really high weeds. Hey guys, so this is the Antietam National Cemetery for all the soldiers. As you see in the background past the fence, you see the monument of the soldier. Yep, so
rest in peace, soldiers.
Yep, rest in peace, soldiers. National Cemetery parking. You can park here and then take a tour inside the cemetery if you wanted to. I just want to show it to you briefly. It's maybe about like less than a half mile away from the actual battlefield. But you see on this side. I think there's some on this side to the left as well. Yeah, it's very quiet around here. And surprisingly, it's like 7 o'clock and still open. So maybe they just literally close when it turns dark. So it's not like a set time. Whatever time it turns dark, it closes. I'm guessing. Don't quote me. But yeah. Here we are. Okay. If you like this video and you appreciate our tour of you know, the bloodiest one-day battle in Civil War, and just Civil War in general, and just following, you know, the history and the troops and the battles that took place, please give our video a like, subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so your help subscribing means everything to us. And share this with other Civil War enthusiasts that would like to go to Antietam. and we'll see you on the next video.